Great news, everybody. So the Supreme Court has struck down a Colorado law which states when children are in therapy, the therapist cannot discourage them from wanting to change their gender. The Colorado law states that if a child is in therapy and they are speaking about their transition, the therapist cannot talk them out of it. They have to encourage what the child wants. Supreme Court struck it down, and we have one de facto, that is the activist. I call her activist. This is Justice Brown came out with her dissent. I'm going to talk about it because this is the most ridiculous thing. She's the only one that came out and said children should not be spoken out. They should not be talked out of changing their gender, because she somehow believes that the state knows what's best for the children. So the state should be able to decide on this matter, which the state has already decided and said that the children should not be talked out of their gender. But if they're there to help to encourage it or to say, hey, I have questions about my gender, that therapist could not say, hey, well, have you tried alternatives? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Do you really want to do it? Okay, if you want to do, they can't do that. This person here, Justice Brown, I'm going to read a couple things that she said in her dissent, which is ridiculous to me because it's on so many levels. This is ridiculous for the simple reason of this. The Democrat Party, which she's a Democrat. We know she's a Democrat. She was appointed by Joe Biden, so it's not saying too much. Or she was, appointed by the auto pen. I don't know. But this is the same party. Think about this. This is the same party that says, I want the Epstein files released. Okay? We want to protect women. We want to protect kids. But in the same breath, you're saying we want children to be able to change their gender on their own, even without their parental consent. This is what some of these states are allowing for. And these are some states that, or laws that some people, lawmakers are really trying to really push. Justice Brown is trying to perpetuate that and say, yes, this is not a freedom of speech issue, because that's what the other 8 members on the justice team said. They said that, listen, this is freedom of this is a speech issue, right? You can't tell a therapist that's having in a counseling session with a child that they somehow cannot say the other part while they're saying the other part, meaning the child want to change their gender. Okay, the state law says they have to encourage it. But why can't they come back and say, well, look, let's talk about this. Let's try to move in this direction. What do you think about this? Are you sure you want to do this? Do you want to maybe let's try this? What is wrong with that? We do it in every other thing. Like if it's medicine, if I'm in therapy and I have something wrong with me, my therapist may say, hey, go and do this. Go and do this. No, you're not. You should not be down on yourself. You should not be feeling this type of way. You should go do this. It works in that sector. But when it comes down to children who are looking to change their gender, the law says they can't touch it. And this lady here, this activist says, you can't touch it. All right. This is what she said. Okay. Number one, she says there is no right. Okay. There is no right to practice medicine which is not subordinate to the police power of the states. What she really says is that the state comes first, not the individual, not the provider, not free speech. Okay. It says that basically she says the power of the government to regulate the professions is not lost whenever the practice of professions entails speech. What she basically is saying is that just because therapy is talking, that doesn't mean it's protected speech. The government can still regulate it. She went on to say, when the speakers are professional, let's see here. She says, when the speakers are medical professionals, their treatment regulated or related speech is being restricted incidentally to the state's regulation of Medicare. Now, the translation in that is, this isn't free speech to her. It's medical treatment. So the state can control if it limits what said. Okay. So she also attacked the majority. She basically said the court's opinion misread our president, is unprincipled and unworkable. She also said Colorado has a significant interest in protecting minors from harm. They have a significant interest in protecting minors from harm. Why is changing your gender not protecting them from harm? Why? How can anyone in their right mind? This is why I say that we are really fighting this is spiritual warfare at this point. At this point, to say that this is not protecting children from harm by allowing them to be able to go in and say, listen, you can't even talk to them about even, making sure this is the right decision or trying to find alternatives for them to not do this particular procedure. How do you make sense of this when you're fighting all day, every day for the Epstein files? You're fighting all day. You want to have them. I think there was a congressional hearing a few weeks ago. You had all the women that said that they were abused and stuff like that, right? You said, hey, we want you to stand up. State your cause. What's going on? We want access to the Epstein files. But in the other breath, they're saying, hey, no, like, let's allow kids to be able to do these things with their gender. If that's what they want, we should allow for that. Think about it. Are they really trying to protect women? Are they really trying to protect children? Or are they allowing for these situations to bring amongst a different cohesive moment in the United States that allows for things that we are not accustomed to in our country? We should all think about the common sense of all of this. It started with Obama, when Obama lit the White House up with all the rainbow colors. Listen, I have nothing against people that decided to change their sex. I have nothing against people who says, listen, I'm just, I'm part of the LGBTQ plus community. Can we put a minus on the end of that? LGBTQ plus, put a minus right there, put a minus right over there. The minus, maybe start subtracting some of those things or what, maybe, you know what I'm saying? The prayers of the righteous availeth much. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. What I'm saying is I have nothing against them. Nothing whatsoever against them. I am just simply saying that we should not allow our political figures to be able to dictate the morals and the values of this great country. This is a mental health crisis. This is not someone that want to make a decision about what they want to do and then somehow they just going to go out there and do it. I mean, that's just like some people that are in the LGBTQ community that says I was born this way. They say I was born this way. I was born this way. Defies the fundamental principles of the Bible. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here trying to preach to no one. I'm just essentially saying, they say that, hey, America was founded on biblical principles. I mean, Christianity values and all these different things. Why are we moving away? Why are we trying to create this new system that we know already works for the most part? This country is only 250 years old. I mean, we're one of the youngest countries on the planet. Make this make sense.